You can never accomplish anything unless you can first expect it of yourself. So the question I would have for you, Amy, would be, what do you expect from yourself? Now you want to do a documentary, and you know that there are going to be obstacles, and they're going to be different. There's going to be, this is going to come up, and that's going to come up, and that isn't, But have you already seen the finished product? See, when I start to write a book, for example, I'm already in the process of that. I want to share a little bit about what's happening with me in that in a future show right now, because it's just been overwhelming. I already have the completed book, a picture of it in front of me that I look at every single day. And so that'd be the first thing I would recommend, is seeing it already completed and fulfilled. If it's going to be a DVD or whatever it's going to be, however you're going to create it, get the packaging for it, even if it's going to change. See it, look at it, so that every time you look at it, you've already assumed the feeling that is emotionally inside of you, because emotions are what move this creative process, your feelings. And if you're feeling, just like what it feels like to know that you've accomplished this, if you could get that feeling now in this moment, and then what you do is you align with the universal source, the divine mind that allows everything to take place. You're aligned with it because that universal source always says yes. And so the funding will start to show up, the right people will start to show up. This is how this whole process works. It's getting past the doubt. I think the first the very first obstacle to higher consciousness is, I used to call it banishing the doubt. Shakespeare said, our doubts are our traitors. You said, I'm afraid old patterns are going to show up. That's a doubt, Instead of your mind saying, there's nothing in my past that will do anything to prevent me from fulfilling this vision that I've already seen as an accomplished fact. There is nothing that I have ever experienced that will ever allow me to interfere with it. So you're starting from a place of banishing the doubt, and then you shut down that inner dialogue. That's another obstacle to higher consciousness, is this constant inner kind of thing about this isn't going to work out, and what if it doesn't, and what if I don't, and all of the what ifs and the maybes and the hurts and the fears and so on. All of that stuff just gets rolled in there. Meantime, Maslow used to say to us that a self-actualized person is someone who never places into their imagination anything that they do not want to manifest into their real life. So they would never put a thought into them about, I'd like to do this, I'd like to really accomplish this, I know this is something that I'm really born to do. It's a burning desire that's been placed in there by me. And then here comes all of the stuff that is going to interfere with you. And so that inner dialogue is a constant kind of, this is, it's based on feeling that you don't have the ability or the desire, or that you're not smart enough, or that you're, whatever it might be. And all of that stuff. Whereas a self-actualized person already sees it as an accomplished fact, and just like any obstacle that shows up, they just see that as just something to get around, or to, you're even grateful for those obstacles, because, it's often been said that every advance that we make towards a higher spiritual place in our life is almost always preceded by a fall of some kind or another. So that all of the things that most people call obstacles and so on, to a self-actualized person, this is just another stepping stone in order to allow myself to get to this place that I've already been in my imagination. Because, Amy, the greatest gift that you were ever given from the moment that you were conceived is the gift of your imagination. You can place anything in there that you want to have in there. And there is nothing that anyone can do to take it away from you. And that everything, William Blake said that everything that now exists was once imagined. So I used to tell my kids that, crazy sentences like this, that the law of flotation was not discovered by the contemplation of the sinking of things. When the Wright brothers went, down to Kitty Hawk, they weren't contemplating the staying on the ground of things. They were contemplating the getting off the ground of things. And they wouldn't have any other thoughts into their consciousness. And that's why we have airplanes, because somebody, had that vision that was so strong inside of them that they would never allow the opposite, that is, that this isn't going to work out. And it said, if you want to create something in your life, you must first be able to expect it of yourself. And I would think about that as I was swimming. I'd think, it's really just about what are my expectations for me, And if my expectations are how difficult something's going to be, it can't work out, I can't afford it, I'm not smart enough, I'm too old, whatever it might be, if those are your thoughts, that's what you expect from yourself, the universal subconscious mind aligns with that thought that you have continuously and offers you experiences that match up to it. It gives you all the things that you've said you want. So it's really shifting then around.